It's more haggis. Plenty of electronic diagnosis in this particular video. It's almost there actually, this thing, it really is. Anyway, if you enjoy, if you don't, can't turn it off. If you want to subscribe, it helps the old algorithms. If you want to contact me, churchhouseclassics, it's all one word, @gmail.com. If you want to donate to the channel or buy me beer, then there's a PayPal me link thing that's just strolling along the bottom here. All donations are gratefully received. Thank you very much for every single person who has. Anyway, enjoy the video. Okay, so list of faults here. Got a few bulbs that are missing. So the cigarette lighter bulb's missing, the clock bulb's missing, and one of the bulbs from the heater panel's missing. Go down from the list of faults that I've identified. 13 faults, it's not bad actually. Horn, we've got an intermittence, that's a partial failure. Bonnet light switch is missing. Door mirror left hand, right hand, neither working, so the mirrors need to be just taken apart and have a look at. That's least of my important worries at the moment. Rear wiper, non-functioning. Front wiper, no low speed, no park. Number plate lights aren't working, brake lights aren't working, cigarette lighter not working because it's probably broken. Interior lights, fuel flap, low brake fluid warning and the glow plug circuit. Right, so let's start with something nice and easy, like, I don't know, which one do you want to start on? Start on the fuel flap. Shall we start on the fuel flap? Actually, let's start on the brake lights. That's a safety critical one. So we'll start with number 8. So all I do really, this is the circuit diagram that I printed off from the manual, the online manuals that I've got. So if I go for brake, stop lights, we won't it? Rear stop lamp is 90. And left hand stop light is 89. So 89 and 90 go through to the diagrams. 89 and 90, there's the stop lamps there, and that's GP. So GP, just to remind ourselves here, because the colour codes are, I haven't even got on this, oh that's a shame, GP is green and purple. So all I really need to do now, in fact, probably the easiest way to do this is to actually discount the switch itself, because we've changed the pedal box. We don't know that the switch on the pedal box is actually working. Light switch is out of the car. We'll connect it up to the multimeter on continuity. Fuck all. There's nothing to these things though, so it's going to be something fairly straightforward. Normally there's one clip there, one clip there. Come off there. Is it going to come apart? Should do. A screwdriver rather than a multimeter probe, I wish it. Well, it does look pretty mangled up. I've got nothing to lose other than fitting another one, so you might as well pull them apart. Should be thinking about coming apart. Push that in, there he goes. Push that in. Come on. There he goes. Right, now he should just come apart. Maybe it's fine, he's got mucky contacts inside. Well, he's out. There's the plunger. I think we've just got mucky contacts in here. I think we'll give it a good, damn good clean up. Yeah, it's all filthy. Proper filthy. Oh. That goes like that, that goes like that, that goes like that. Ten minutes later, it's back together and it's working.
shall fit that back onto the car then. Seems to be alright. Seems to work. Just a little kind of pulled it apart, pushed it back together again. I had to use the vice in the end because basically the way it works. Let's have a diagram. Oh, please just fuck off, bastards. You got the body of the switch like that, and you got the two terminals inside here, and they've got a little kind of ridge over the top of them. Then you've got the plunger with a spring underneath it. Alright? Now underneath the spring needs to go the other metal contact. So it actually needs to be assembled with those bits, and this, you kind of need to compress it before you can put it together again. And the idea is, as the plunger comes out, this bit here goes up and completes the continuity between these two circuits here. As soon as you push it down, that breaks, it works. That's all there is to it. Okay? Right, and let's put that back on there, that way around. It's just kind of a little washer bit, I guess, and then that goes on and screws it all into place. Right, let me put this back in. Let's see if it works. Ignition on. Brakes. Lights. Lights. Lights on. I can't see because yes, we've got lights on, got number plate lights. Now we've got brakes. We have. I think I can put these covers back on again now. Took these fellas off, ready just to diagnose all the bulbs and things. Didn't actually really need to, but I'll give them a quick clean and I'll lob them back into place again, so they're back on. I've not put the number plate light holders on yet. I have actually got the number plate light covers somewhere. I need to dig those out and get those done. That's all working. I think next I'm going to battle with the fuel filler. Work out what the problem is with that. Now I've tried disconnecting it and bridging the cable up there. Made no difference at all. So I'm thinking that we need to investigate further back here. Now the actuator is actually behind a panel over there. It's a little bit of a ball's ache to get to, but obviously we've got no choice. So let me get in there and have a Lukey McLuke face at that. I'm pleased the interior light is working now, and that's got the delay on it, so when I push the switch in, count to 5. Count really slowly to 5. It goes off. Right, now, if I then put this switch on here, we'll just see if the internal light circuit works as well. Wait for it to go off again. Could just flick the ignition on and that will make it go off. That'll be the next test. Come on, you bastard. Right, off and on and off and on and off. That's right. So the interior light's working. Fuel flap solenoid. I did this plate off here. Removed the side trim as well. It's not looking in great shape really, but what we'll do is once again we will test the circuitry. Now there's a couple of odds and sods here. That should be an earth, I believe. It's all very, very, very sandy and sooty here. As you can see, everything's knee deep in sand and dust. I think what we'll do is we will pull out the plug, 2 spade connections, test this, bench test this, test the electrics on there. There's only like a dozen screws to get to this point, but let's see if we can. I mean, it sounds like it's working. I'm not convinced about this. I think this might be fooked. Have a go test it. Right, I think we'll just put a bit of wire with a spade on it, and a bit of wire with a spade on it, and then we'll run it across the battery, I reckon. This could be a little bit longer this way. Right, what we're looking for now is some positive solenoid action. Pretty difficult, is it? Turn that around. Oh, yes. Well, that's good news. So we know this bit's all right. So what we need to do now is work out what on earth is going on in the circuit to this bit, because that works. Right, again. Got the glow plug relay off. I've put a positive terminal onto the yellow and black wire, which I've earthed, just to, I know when the thing is going to energise because I'll get voltage down that line. The ignition's on. I've got myself a earth feed, and my suspect wire here is this black wire with the white trace. Now if I touch that in there, first of all it clicks, and I'm getting voltage. I'm getting voltage through. Now, how long does it go on for? There you go, that's working. So all I really need to do then is this black and white wire I need to splice onto the black, and that will fix that. Keys are in it. Right, okay, had some fun. I charged batteries up now, but we had some fun with the wipers yesterday. I'll run through the problems that I had, the diagnosis I came to. I tried a different wiper delay unit. Basically though, what was happening was that wipers were working on the intermittent settings beautifully. However, when you went to half speed or normal speed and fast speed, normal speed was a bit slow waking up, then eventually did wake up and wouldn't park. However, if you then, let's just hold my torch and hold the light at the same time here. Multitasking, Richard, my goodness, right. If you kind of wiggled this column around, it would park. So I thought, well, this is a funny old game, isn't it? So we'll take the column out, because I don't know if you know, you can actually just unplug them like that. 1 second. Right, we'll remove it from the vehicle. Now, on the back here, well, first and foremost, I thought it might be something to do with this up here. Let's take the light off now. I thought it might be something to do with the variable control up here. So I took it all apart. There's a screw on the back there, and then this front cover just unclips. Cleaned all that up, made no difference at all. Then I noticed on the bottom here, I thought, well, let's take this end apart to see if there's something in there. I undid these two screws, and this piece just fell off, and you can see where I've soldered it there to join these two halves together again. Now, basically, by soldering that piece back onto there, this piece of metal, this little bracket here, solders back onto there. I've now got it, so it parks, and the low speed and the high speed work beautifully, no problems at all. But there is no more intermittent wipe. So I thought, to hell with this. This is driving me up the bloody wall. So I've just been picked up another Range Rover column, which I'll be able to hopefully make one good one out of the two bad ones. On this side, rear wiper. Now, rear wiper, the easiest way of doing this was to identify the wire for the rear wiper, which is in here. One of these wires, I can't remember which one it was, I think it's the green and the purple. And then all I did was I just ran a positive to it with the tailgate closed and the wiper worked. So we know the motor and the circuitry is good. However, there's a problem whereby when I use the switch, it doesn't operate the wiper. Now, there is a wiper delay unit, rear wiper delay unit, which may be part of the front wiper delay unit. I can't remember. I need to look up where that unit is. We're also having a bit of a struggle here with various washer pumps and different adapters and so forth, but that's all fixable. I've been out this morning and picked up some treasure. I do like picking up treasure. Check out that. That's a perler, isn't it? Well, there's the wiper still there. That's a perler. Nearly 5 hours yesterday doing electrics on this, and the list has come down somewhat significantly. Unfortunately, my battery ran out on the phone, on the camera, so I didn't actually end up recording too much of it. Just goes back to the page. So horns intermittent, I'm probably just going to be cleaning terminals and that. Bonnet light switch missing, I've ordered some. Door mirrors left and right, we'll go over those in a second. Rear wiper, I know that the wiper works, so we're talking about the switch. Switch, something good. Front wiper, so no low, no park. 99% sure it's now the switch. Number plate lights are working. Brake lights are now working. Cigarette light is still broken. Interior lights are working. Fuel flap. Aha! Fuel flap. Now, fuel flap is actually driving up the bloody wall. So what I've done is tested the solenoid. The switch is good. The connector, which is this fella right here, I don't know if you can see that. You can see that one there. The wire with the little sheath around it, that one there, is supposed to be a feed, and I think it's supposed to come from this box up here, and it's supposed to give 12 volts to that circuit when the ignition is off but the key's in, if you get my drift. However, it doesn't. Now, I've tested it by running 12 volts to the other side of the switch, and the solenoid plops. So I know it should work. I think there's just an anomaly between that and what I've got on the car. That's fine, we'll get that fixed. It's not a huge issue. The low brake fluid, we know that the switch is faulty because we tested that already. You've seen up above. Glow plug circuit's now working beautifully, but I still haven't sussed out what the black and slate wire is for. Now, it's a little bit of a conundrum. Let's just take this chap out of the way. Just unplug you for a moment. I'm just using it really just to confirm that the washer part of the circuit was working. Gravity, been a while. Now here what I've done is I've joined what was a black and white or black and slate wire to the black wire, and that now makes the circuit work. However, I've still got this wire here, which is a black and slate wire. Now possibly it just joins together, but I'm not going to join it together till I know it bloody works. But really just putting that onto there got the glow plug circuit working. Now it could well be an anomaly of the alarm circuits that goes on to some of these cars. So this loom came from a 1990 car, and it could well be that as an option they put the alarm onto the 1990 cars, because I know that the basic alarm and central locking that goes with, I mean, things like L95, it does interfere with a couple of circuits, and it could well be that one of the circuits it interferes with is the glow plug circuit. Prevents you from starting the engine because there's no glow plug. I think that's about it really. That was a catch up on the bits that I hadn't managed to video. Today, what I'm going to do, I might have a play with that, I don't know. What I really want to get done is I want to get these front calipers put back on. New rigid hoses, refurb calipers, haven't put the pads in yet. New aero hoses. The bit of wire that's dangling on the back there, that bit is for the brake sensors. I've got to work out what I'm going to do with that still. Might just be blanket off. Done this side, it's not bad for a couple of hours work. Got those all made up and on. Now the problem is that it's flipping cold in here. I've got my little hand heater down here, which is great fun for when you can't feel your fingers anymore. You just kind of give it a couple of minutes of this, knock everything down the back of the shelf. I'll move the brake cleaner out of the way. Oh yes. Oh yes, fingers. Oh yes. Everything else is thermaled up. Oh yes. That's better. Right, brake's done. Wipers, ignition, intermittent working and parking, slow speed and parking, fast speed and parking. Washer, working. Single wipe, working. New switch. The old switch, that was the root cause there. Rear wipers, well, first and foremost, this switch is broken. This is the switch that's off the car. So I bought another switch yesterday. It came in as part of a deal with a load of other bits and bobs. That's also broken. So basically, we've got one broken casing here that's got a broken knob on the end of it, and it's got half the lugs are broken on it, and the other one, all the fucking lugs are broken on it. So I'm going to see if I can get it to work, one of the switches to work, just glue the fucker. Horns. I'm taking the low tone horn off, so let's just balance you here. Can we balance you here? We might be able to balance you here. Balance you there like that. Can we get horns to work? So I've literally just wired this thing across. Woo! That was good. That's a fucking sound. Never mind, it'll work. That works. What was basically happening was the wires on this thing are very, very, very loose. So I'm just going to recrimp these terminals, put the horns back on. I should sort that out. Black and slate wire over here. I've been through all of the manuals. The only reference I can ever find for black and slate, it's on the earth diagrams. So all of the earth kind of distribution points, it does have a black and slate. More often than not, it goes back to the EFI ECU. Quite why it's there, I don't know. I'm going to wire it into the earth circuit. Bollocks to it. Right, rear wiper time. This is the broken switch here. So we know that the white, light green wire is the feed from the fuse. The black wire is the wire that goes to the washer, but also activates the wiper at the same time, and the green wire is just the wiper itself. Switch is broken, but we might as well see if we can bypass some of these settings. So if I go for, first and foremost, I can just bridge these two. Oh, ignition on. Beginner's mistake. Right, I can see the wipers moving. Let's turn you around so you can see the wiper moving. Hey, look, there you go. Right, let's do that again. And bridge those two again. Yay, wiper's working. Doors are going to be closed because the delay unit has the interior light switch as part of it, which basically means if the doors are open or the tailgate's open especially, then it won't work. Now, if I now bridge just the wiper, then we're going to get, hopefully we're going to get some wiper action, but without any washers. It just stays on. There you go, it works. Now, if I do the wiper, because it wipes for X number of times before it turns off, do you think it's ever going to turn off? I've got no power at all to the switch now. Oh, it didn't park. Ha! Oh, that's good news. Parked that time. Parked. Didn't park again. Last time I had this problem with the parking not working, it was because of an earth problem. Okay, let me just do it the way I was doing it. So this is with the washer. Trying to find out where the fucking which relay is clicking in here. Right, let me work it out. I mean, we're a step closer than we have been, which is good news. That's rear wide, but I'm going to have to get myself another switch for it. And then once I've got that sorted out, then I can do the rear flap. And as you can see, I've taken all the relays off from underneath the column here because I was just getting a bit frustrated with reaching around and things were getting tangled up. So I just decided to undo the two nuts, drop all the relays down, work out what on earth is going on. The objective today really is to get the top dash in place. Wipers, front wipers are working, washers working, all good. Horns are working. Tootie McTootie is working. What else have we ticked off today? So we've got horns are working. Rear wiper up switch, front wiper was the switch, number plate lights are working, brake lights are working, interior lights are working, the glow plug circuit's now working, the low brake fluid sensor, that's a nice bit of unobtainium, I tell you. I'm going to have to see if I can find someone that's breaking one that's prepared to sell me this bit, or take this apart and work out what's going wrong with it. Because at the moment I've got nothing to lose for taking that apart, because it don't work. And you can see it's all full of crap. So it's probably shorting out inside, I don't know. But that's not working. Starter solenoid I tested out because I just disconnected the wire here. I tested the voltage at the start position. That was a good strong 12 volts. So we know the start solenoid is going to work. Not taking the starter out of this thing, of course. But yeah. Let's get the rest of these column controls sorted out, and then I can get this thing back together again. Now, the park side of the circuit, let's have a quick look here, because the way it works, we've got, let me just position it so I'm not holding the camera at the same time. Let's do that. That, I don't know if you can see that, it's too far away. Let's see if we can get in a bit closer. Let's do a bit of wiring diagram shite. That's better. Right, okay, so this is the rear wiper, that's the rear washer pump, that's the rear wiper motor, rear wiper motor, rear washer pump, that's the relay, and that's the switch. It's there. 131 is a switch, 130 is the fuse. Okay, so what happens is the fuse goes through this, the WLG wire should be permanently live to the to the wiper motor, and that should be the park function. So I'll double check that white light green wire on the passenger side of the bulkhead. The brown light green, or the NLG wire that comes from the relay, is the one that basically says, can I have some wipe please? So WLG is the park, NLG is the actual wipe itself. So I'll double check the voltage at white light green. It could well be that the motor itself has a dodgy park function inside it, which would be a pain, but it'd be nice if we could get it to park. I suspect the voltage here is odd. We'll double check that in a second. Won't be a problem. But otherwise, I think all I really need to do is replace the switch here. There's a few people out there breaking them. I mean, the problem with these things is they're very fragile and they get kicked by knees and things, and I think that's what's happened to this one. It had been glued together. See? Oh, what's that just falling out of there? Little bits of plastic falling out of it. So this thing is in a dreadful state, this one. This is the one that came off the car. This is the one that I picked up yesterday for buttons. I can probably rebuild this one and see if I can get it working. The problem with this one was, apart from the fact it fell apart as soon as I touched it because all the lugs on the edges here are broken off, was that it didn't actually have a click position to stay in the rear wipe mode. You click the rear wipe mode and it just sprang straight back, which is not a lot of cop. Right, let's go and have a look at the white light green while we're here. So if I get my little test lead, that one there, test lead, and now I'll show you how, see if we can get this thing to park. Oh, passenger side, It's a little bit dark at the moment. Don't worry, fret not. I can reach over and get lampy face. This connector up here is the one I want. So I want the white light green, which is there. I've got a nice big hairy brown feed down here. So I don't even need an ignition to part this fella, I tell you. So if I was to put that in, let me get the probe, I get a slightly different just got a little multimeter cable here. We'll plug him into one of the brown feeds. He's in there. We'll go to the white light green wire, which I think is on this connector here. There it is. Pull this apart. There we are. White, light green. That's white blue. That was white light green up there. No, it doesn't want to park. So the next thing to do, I think, is to check for voltage at the white light green wire with the ignition on. Then I think what we've potentially got here is a fault within the part of the circuit on the motor itself, because it has been working and then it stopped working as you were watching. Hours of fun, eh? Right, here's the multimeter. Come on, Mr. Multimeter. He's already connected to a nice reliable earth. Just check we had power then. Yeah, nice 12 volts. That was good. So we know that that brown feed was good. Ignition back on. I just want to check up here for voltage on the white light green. I got voltage there. Let's plug him back together again. Check we got voltage through white light green. Yeah, nice voltage. So it looks like the fault is actually within the motor itself. That's a ball's ache, isn't it? Right, okay, well the motor's going to have to come out at some point, but I'll do that when I get to the back end. Certainly nothing I don't think that I need to piss around with on the dash form. Right, next I think, let us go and see if we can work out what is going on, what on earth is going on with the fuel flap release. Dun, 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 dun. Run to the other side as we come. Right, ignition on. Right, so fuel flap release, as you've seen already, connects onto this wire here. So from the back of the switch, it's a yellow and purple and yellow wire. I'm led to believe it's this box up here that actually does the magic, but on this box here I am not seeing a yellow and purple wire. So I'm going to have to go through the diagrams. I can see yellow and orange and yellow and orange. I'm seeing no yellow and purple. So I need to find out where the fuel flap release takes its voltage from, whereabouts on the circuit it takes that from. When I've got that, then I can confirm the voltage. Because if I put voltage into the back of that, it opens the fuel flap. Works every bloody time. So I know the circuit from the switch to the actuator is good. It's the feed to the switch that's causing difficulty. Right. I'm going to get the camera out of the way because you're in the way, and I shall report back with what my findings are.